joining me now is Lois Perry, Director of Car26, Jim Dale, meteorologist, and Angela Knight, CEO of Energy UK. Right, so I'm going to start with Lois, actually, with regard to the old electric car. Now, look, we've been told that the electric cars are a good idea. What's your view of them?
Well, it seems that all the virtue signallers, all of the wokes, all of the people who are fortunate enough to be able to afford to have an electric car for town and a petrol car for the country. I was actually told that by a senior advisor to Alok Sharma recently in Parliament. Oh, won't you just have a electric car for town and a petrol car for the countryside? These are the people actually making the decisions. All the low-hanging fruit has gone. All of the wokes, they've all bought the cars, and everybody else. It's the real world. It doesn't make any sense financially anymore. It's completely ridiculous. The resale, well, there's no resale value because there's no way of telling how well the battery's doing. You know, it's people have woken up. I'm really, really happy about this story, actually.
You know, Angela Knight, is this the right thing to be doing, electric cars? Surely there's better alternatives. There seems to be, they don't seem to last that long, and there seem to be issues.
Well, there are issues. There always have been issues. I mean, whether you start off with lithium for the batteries, where the only refiners are in some pretty nasty parts of the world, through to the actual running costs, which have always been rather more expensive than implied. And I had some friends who went to the Alps to ski with two small children in an electric car in February half-term. Well, it took them more or less they had to plug themselves in about 4 times, and it took them several hours longer than their other friends who drove in an ordinary car. But having said all that, and having said that the economics at the moment are wrong, there's quite a lot of proper work being undertaken by the car industry, both to get different types of batteries, to look at things like hydrogen and cells, in order that we can have something that is a competitive, sensible alternative to petrol and diesel cars. And I'm all up for that. What I don't like is the artificiality of the debate, and I don't like the artificiality of some of the outcomes. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing the research. That doesn't mean that there won't be some sensible alternatives. And that's where I think the work needs to go.
Jim Dale.
Yes, good afternoon. First of all, Nana, congratulations on your new column in the Daily Mail.
Thank you.
I hear.
Thank you.
I'll help you write it one day if you wish. Look, on this particular thing, Lois Flintstone over there. You're getting
Lois, what? Sorry?
I'm afraid. Let me make this absolutely clear. There's only one direction of travel. Yes, technology got us here in terms of the electric car. Technology will improve with time. And in any new revolution, that we have, through the ages, there's always been little hiccups at the start with cost and all the rest of it that goes with it. This is what we're enduring at this moment in time. It isn't wrong. But look, let me make something clear. 30% of cars sold in December in the UK were of electric origin. So there's only one way. It's not a straight line graph. And the cost of living crisis comes into this in terms of expenditure and being able to afford these things. But let's make it absolutely clear, in 10 years, there'll be absolutely no room for petrol cars or diesel cars, certainly.
Completely disagree with you, Jim.
A minor, well, you would. That's where you...
What about the whole diesel revolution?
It's people like yourself, Lois, who would have looked at, in the Stone Age times, looked at the round wheel coming and said, no, I'll go for the...
No, you want us to go back to the Stone Age, Jim.
Let him finish. I want to hear. Yeah. What did you say about Lois? That it's people like Lois that would have,
taken us back to the Stone Age. In other words, being back in the Stone Age, looking at the round wheel as it was invented and saying, no, I'll stick with the old square wheel. That one's a better one. I don't want to move.
Right.
We do get people like this, and that's basically the same with electric cars. One direction only.
Oh, did you hear that? One Direction on a square wheel, Lois. Should have gone for the square wheel.
Well, the irony is obviously completely lost on Jim, that it's the Stone Age that I believe people like him. I'd never say that, funnily enough. That's a little bit rude, but people like you, to use your own phraseology, Jim, I believe, and a lot of people believe, you want to take us back to the Stone Age. I'm not a Luddite at all, but if you have technology that doesn't work and is based on a false premise in the first place, which I believe that it is, with batteries that you have to replace, no resale value, let's be honest. Your Marxist ideology is at the heart of all of this. And, you don't actually want us to be driving. This is about not driving.
Angela, could we not carry on, Angela, but we've got about 30 seconds left. Could we not carry on with our combustion engines, but with zero carbon fuel? Is there such a thing?
Synthetic.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said. The sound.
I said, could we not stick with combustion engines? But is there any sort of zero carbon fuel that we could be using so we don't have to scrap all our old cars? And can we not carry on with what we have?
Well, I think that we can carry on for a bit, but this is not without doing development on other things. I mean, one example which I think has got some more work to be done, but has got some really good long-term possibilities, is the use of natural gas as a fuel, for example, in HGVs. Because we look at the big lorries, and goodness only knows they thunder around our roads like nobody's business, and they're, in the majority, are diesel. Is electric viable for them? Well, it's quite difficult to see that it is terribly viable. What about hydrogen? Yes, there's some possibilities there, and there's quite a lot of work being done on that. But we did at one stage power a number of our bus fleets by natural gas. I have no idea why that went away. Now, natural gas is still, of course, a carbon fuel, but what it does produce is much less emissions. And it's emissions that are the issues here.
Thank you very much, Angela. That's Angela Knight, CEO of Energy UK. Jim Dale, he's a meteorologist. Also Lois Perry, Director of Car 26. Thank you for your thoughts.